The frost came early that morning, laying a silent silver blanket across the woods. Trees stood still like frozen sentinels, their limbs heavy with ice, and not a single bird dared break the silence. The only sign of life came from a small farmhouse nestled at the edge of the forest, a warm glow spilling from its windows into the cold. Inside, the world was different, cozy, gentle. A kettle hummed softly in the kitchen. A sleepy tune from a child's toy played in loops near the fireplace. And in the middle of the living room, 14-month-old Lily sat barefoot on a thick quilt, her tiny fingers clutching a wooden block as she babbled to herself in rhythmic nonsense. Her parents, Claire and Joel, were just stirring. Claire yawned as she padded into the hallway, pulling a sweater over her flannel pajamas. Joel, still rubbing sleep from his eyes, made his way to the kitchen, starting coffee with a practiced hand. The baby's cheerful babble floated down the hall, familiar and comforting. Then came a sound that didn't belong, a heavy thump, muffled but close, followed by something like scratching, or maybe dragging. Joel paused mid-pour. Claire appeared in the kitchen doorway, her brow furrowed. "You hear that?" she asked. Joel nodded. Sounded like something on the porch. They exchanged a glance, one that held the unspoken weight of years living in the remote countryside. Out here, strange sounds meant anything from a wandering raccoon to something far more dangerous. Joel moved to the front window, careful not to step too hard. He reached for the curtain and pulled it back slowly, expecting maybe a deer, or, at worst, a coyote sniffing around for food. But what he saw froze him in place. Lying across the porch steps, almost draped like a heavy fur rug, was a full-grown brown bear. Its massive chest moved slowly, too slowly. Its fur was soaked, clumped together with ice and mud. One leg stuck out at an unnatural angle. Blood, dried and dark, matted its hind flank. And its eyes, barely open, barely aware. Claire joined him at the window and gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. Oh my God! They didn't waste a second. Joel immediately pulled Lily away from the living room window and into his arms, while Claire checked the locks on every door and window, securing them with shaking hands. Joel held Lily tightly, her tiny body squirming in his grasp, protesting being taken away from her spot near the window. "She's fine," Claire whispered, breathless. She didn't see it. But she had. Lily leaned in his arms, eyes fixed on the door, mouth slightly open. She made a soft, curious noise, something like a question. Then, slowly, she reached her hand out toward the door as if trying to touch something just beyond her grasp. Joel sat her down on the couch and pulled out his phone. He dialed animal control, voice tense. Yes, it's on our porch. A bear. It's hurt. No, not moving much. I think it's dying. What do we do?" Claire peeked through the side curtain again, her voice low. "It's not even trying to get up." Animal control told them what they already feared. Help would take hours. The road leading to their property was snowed in. No trucks could get through until plows cleared the way. Until then, they were on their own. "Just stay inside," the operator advised. "Keep your doors locked. Don't approach it." Joel hung up and looked at Lily, who had crawled across the carpet to the window again. She sat up on her knees and peered outside, tapping the glass with her palm. Over and over, gently, rhythmically. "Lily, baby, come here," Claire said softly, kneeling beside her. But Lily didn't move. Then something happened that neither of them expected. The bear stirred. Its enormous head shifted just a little and one eye opened wider. It blinked, slowly. Then it turned, just barely, toward the sound of the tapping. Claire pulled Lily back quickly, heart racing. But the bear didn't move further. It just looked, not through the glass, at her. The baby tapped again. The bear blinked. Joel stared. Is it reacting to her? Claire shook her head. It's just coincidence. But deep down, neither of them was sure. Joel made a few more calls, trying to reach local rangers or even neighbors who might have a snowmobile. No one could come. Roads were blocked, radios were down in parts of the area due to the storm. They were truly alone. As the day passed, the bear didn't move from the porch. It didn't growl. It didn't roar. It didn't even try to rise. It only breathed, barely, and occasionally lifted its head whenever Lily made a noise. By late afternoon, Joel set out a bowl of water just outside the front door, safely sliding it with a broom handle. The bear didn't respond. Inside, Claire tried everything to distract Lily. Toys, music, even warm soup. But the baby was fixated. Every time she was set down, she made her way toward the window and resumed her soft tapping. Once, she placed her forehead gently against the glass, just staring. And every time, the bear looked back. Claire knelt beside her. "Why are you not afraid of it?" she whispered. The sky darkened and snow began to fall again, soft, heavy flakes piling on the roof and porch. The world turned quiet. And then, chaos. Joel had gone to the basement to check the generator. Claire was warming a bottle in the kitchen. Just a minute, just one. And when she turned back, "Lily?" The couch was empty, the window wide open. Claire screamed. Joel charged up the stairs. They flung the door open to the porch, boots crunching in snow and fear. And there she was, Lily, crawling across the porch floor through the fresh dusting of snow, head lifted, arms outstretched, inches away from the bear. Claire screamed again, but Lily didn't flinch. The bear raised its head. Joel bolted forward, but the baby kept crawling. She reached out. Her tiny hand, red with cold, trembling from the effort, touched the bear's paw. His boots skidded across the snow-slick porch as his hand clamped around Lily's tiny waist, yanking her back from the enormous paw her fingers had just touched. He staggered backward, shielding her with his body. Claire screamed from behind him, voice shaking with panic. "Did it bite her?" "No," Joel gasped. "No, she's okay." He turned Lily around, his hands frantically searching her arms, face, coat. Nothing. Not a scratch. Her cheeks were red from the cold. Her mitten had slipped off one hand, but her skin was untouched. She looked up at her father, blinking calmly, as if surprised by the fuss. Then she pointed past him, murmuring a word she hadn't said before. "Bear." Joel froze. Behind him, the bear was still. The great brown beast had not moved. No snarl, no lunge, no warning signs. Instead, as Joel slowly turned, he saw the bear had lowered its massive head onto the porch floorboards, right next to where Lily had been sitting. Its eyes, dull with pain, followed them, lazily, almost peacefully. Then it exhaled. A long, low, deep sound. Not a growl, not a threat. A release. Claire stepped forward now, bundled in her coat, breath fogging in front of her face. "It didn't touch her," she whispered. Joel nodded. It let her sit there. Together they stood in the falling snow, looking at the bear sprawled across their porch, and something in the air changed. The raw fear that had gripped them just moments ago began to shift into something they didn't yet have words for. Awe, confusion, and the beginnings of something harder to name. Joel carried Lily back inside while Claire backed toward the door, never taking her eyes off the bear. The creature watched them go, unblinking. Inside, Joel wrapped Lily in blankets and held her close to the fireplace. She wasn't shaken. She wasn't crying. She leaned against him, one hand still outstretched toward the door, whispering that strange, half-formed word again. "Bear." Claire sat beside them, hands trembling. "What is going on, Joel? Why didn't it attack? Why did she go to it?" Joel didn't answer right away. He just stared at the window. That thing should have killed her. But it didn't. "No," he said slowly. "It let her." Once Lily was safe and dry, Joel retrieved the baby monitor and moved it closer to the front of the house. Then he stepped out again, cautiously, and peered through the window at the bear. Its eyes were still half open, its breath fogged in the frigid air, but its limbs were limp, broken. He noticed the way its back legs stuck out at an angle no leg should bend. Up close now, even through the window, he could see the bones just under the stretched skin. The bear was starving. Ribs jutted out like fence posts. The fur around its mouth was crusted, not just with frost, but blood. Not fresh blood, dry, cracked. Claire joined him. "Joel, I don't think it's going to make it." He nodded. "It's barely breathing. What do we do?" "We wait," he said. "There's nothing else we can do." They checked on Lily again, fast asleep now on the couch, her breath steady and calm. Then Joel returned to the window. Snow was beginning to accumulate on the bear's back, undisturbed. He didn't know what moved him to do it. Maybe it was the look in the bear's eyes, or the way it had submitted to Lily's touch. Maybe it was something deeper, something he didn't want to explain. But he grabbed an old wool blanket from the emergency kit, stepped outside and gently laid it across the bear's massive torso. It didn't react. Claire watched from the door, hands pressed to her mouth. "Are you crazy?" "It's dying," he said softly. He set a bowl of warm water and some leftover chicken stew on the edge of the porch, far enough to be safe. The bear didn't stir. Night fell fast. The forest beyond their house turned black and silent. The roads were still buried under snow, and the ranger station hadn't called back. The world shrunk to the soft glow of their porch light, the shape of the dying animal outside it, and the quiet breath of a sleeping child inside. Around midnight, Lily woke again. She didn't cry, not at first. Just sat up, rubbing her eyes, then toddled across the floor and stood in front of the door. "Bah!" Claire reached for her. "Sweetheart, no." But Lily simply pointed. Joel knelt beside her and looked out. The bear was still breathing. Barely. "Joel," Claire whispered. "Come here." He joined her at the window. The bear had shifted its weight slightly, trying to curl itself tighter into the blanket he'd laid over it. Its body trembled. Whether from cold or pain, they couldn't tell. Claire said, "Do you think—" "She calms it somehow." "She doesn't even understand what it is," Joel replied, but there was doubt in his voice. "Are you sure?" Claire asked, watching their daughter. "Because it seems like it understands her." Joel didn't sleep that night. He sat by the window with Lily in his lap, both of them watching the creature outside. Claire dozed on and off, waking each time Lily stirred. The snow kept falling. By morning, Joel stepped onto the porch again and found the stew bowl empty. Water gone. The bear had eaten, and in the snow next to the bowl, paw prints. It had moved. He stepped closer. The bear's head lifted. For a moment, man and beast looked at each other. Joel's heart thudded in his chest. But the bear didn't growl, didn't bare teeth. It blinked, and slowly lowered its head again. He looked closer. Blood had seeped from its injured leg during the night. A lot of it. And yet it had stayed. Right there, on their porch, as if it couldn't or wouldn't go any farther. That day, Joel did something even stranger. He built a makeshift shelter on the porch. Using an old tarp, 2 wooden chairs, and part of a broken door, he propped up a crude windbreak over the bear. He covered it in snow to insulate, placed another blanket beneath. The bear made no attempt to stop him. Claire helped, quietly. Neither of them said what they were thinking, but it hung heavy in the air. This bear trusted them. Or maybe just trusted Lily. That evening, they lit the fireplace early. Lily sat in Joel's lap again, her eyes following every shadow that moved near the window. When the wind howled, she flinched, but didn't cry. When Claire placed her hand gently on Lily's head, she found the baby's skin cool, but her breathing steady. Then came a sound none of them expected, a low rumble, soft, gravelly, not angry, not loud, from outside. The bear was purring, or something like it. Lily perked up instantly, climbed off her father's lap and crawled to the window again. She tapped the glass and once more